Hey, what's up guys? Yokobomb here, and welcome back to another episode of the Baltimore Orioles franchise on Out of the Park Baseball 19. So today we are of course beginning the second season in this franchise as we're on opening day. And just a little reminder here's what we're rolling with this year. This is what our team is looking like at the beginning of the season here. Taking a look at our lineup here and all of our position players that we have. I'm just going to take a look at our rotation and our bullpen real quick. So, as you guys know, don't really have that high expectations for this year here. Looking at the preseason predictions, we're actually predicted to be 78 and 84, which is fine. I honestly don't really know what to expect this year because we upgraded our bullpen by a ton this year. Not necessarily to contend, but at least to get some pieces that we could maybe flip for some value later in the season if we're not contending, which I really don't expect that we will. But anyways, if we ended up doing this, that would be fine with me. Taking a look around the league, just that some of the other predictions, I don't expect that we'll have anybody in the top hitters or pitchers, and we do not. Wow, Kershaw signed with Toronto. Interesting right there. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. Dan Vogelbach, projected to be a top 10 hitter. Sort of interesting. But yeah, here's just a quick look at the National League. Real quick. Look at that if you want. And I think I'm going to try out a new kind of style with the series this year. I think I'm going to kind of go with more of a daily sim kind of thing, just because I feel like it's more effective that way, because like injuries and things like that happen as we're going through the series. So I just feel like it's better and more interesting to do that. So I'm going to try this out, at least for the first episode of this season. You guys can let me know if you think this new way of doing things is too tedious or not. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. Our first series here is against the New York Yankees here. So going to be taking on a division rival, and we take the first game on opening day, 10-5 against the Yankees. Drop the second game here. Trade proposal right here. Here I'm going to actually turn off the receiving trade proposals since they're not very realistic. So I don't really want to be receiving one of those each time that happens. Mike Clevinger looks like an interesting guy to pick up here. Although we don't really have room for him necessarily. But anyways, we're going to keep on trucking along. Okay, win 3 out of 4. Against New York, Herrera is refusing to be demoted, so we're just going to shop him around and make a little minor league trade right here. Okay, so here we're just gonna dump Herrera for this random reliever prospect from the Red Sox. Ooh, it actually looks like he projects. He is a first baseman as a secondary position, but his hitting ratings are not very good at all, so that does not matter at all. But yeah, we're just gonna flip Herrera to the Red Sox for that little reliever there, just because we had no room for him on the major league roster and he refused to be demoted. So Basically, why we did that move, we've got a series against Chicago right now. Drop the first game to the White Sox. Pick up the second game. Pick up another game against the White Sox here. So now we are 5-2 on the season. Off to a pretty decent start, although it's extremely early and does not matter at all as we start a season, or a series, against Texas right here. And we're falling back down to earth. Losing the first 2 against Texas. Pick up the last one. 6-4 to start off the year. Now 3-game set against Tampa Bay. Picking up the first game. Tim Lincecum is on waivers here. That's pretty interesting. We'll just take a look just because. Yeah, it looks like he caught on with Texas last year. But was he good? Geez, only striking out 9. Well, I thought the walks per 9 were strikeouts there for a second. Yeah, no, wasn't very good. Oops. But that is whatever. So winning the series against Tampa Bay there. 9-4 now on the season. We're almost through the first month of the season. Starting a series against Detroit now, splitting the first 2. Game 3 is a loss, so we dropped the series to Detroit there. However, we are still 10-6 on the year. Against Cleveland now, dropping the first one, picking up the second game, and winning that series against Cleveland. So now we are 12-7. I think we've won our last couple of series here. Just check it out. So yeah, we won series against New York, one series against the Sox. You know, the only series we've dropped is the one against Detroit and the one against Texas so far, so pretty decent. In a few days here, we're gonna check up on how the team has been performing as a whole once we get into the month of May. Alright, we're just gonna stop here with the series against Toronto, even though today is the last day in April. So taking a look at how guys have been this year, Austin Hayes has been pretty good in limited time this season. He's been splitting time with Santander out there and right, playing every 3rd game. Get on base a ton. OPS well over 1,000, or 1 I should say. OPS plus over 200. He's having a very nice season so far, as is Mike Ford and Victor Caterini. Caterini, of course, is behind the dish for us this season. Let's actually go ahead and move his, or set his position to catcher, since he's been playing there for us this season. Yeah, even though he's not great defensively, his offensive ratings boost his rating quite a bit, or at least his overall player rating. Although it doesn't actually mean much, but for the sake of him being our everyday catcher, we'll go ahead and do that. Keep on looking through it here. Mancini, he's having himself quite a season already. He's already worth 1 win so far this season. OPS over 1,000. OPS plus of 171. Take a look at his WRC plus right here. Yeah, 179. He is having a very good season for us so far. Looks like our offense is really doing well for us this season. Yeah, we're 4th in the American League in run scores, 3rd on base, 6th in home runs. Yeah, we're pretty far up there. And offensive rankings this year. Pitching, of course, not. Oh boy, last in starters ERA. Let's take a look at this. It looks like our bullpen hasn't been that bad. Yeah, Colomé and Hudson have been pretty decent. Araujo, not very good. Our international free agent, he has not been very good. And our starting pitching has just been absolutely awful through the first month. Jeez. Cobb is the best ERA for what it's worth, 5.5. Haps FIP is well over 7. A bunch of them are barely negative WAR right there. Yeah, no one else besides Bundy are really doing well. Cashner's walking more than he's striking out this season. That is just fantastic. However, this is his last year under contract with us. Cobb, is he under contract? Yeah, we still have him for 2 more seasons after this one, looks like. So yeah, our pitching is really killing us this year. If not for that, we'd probably be in a bit of a better spot if our pitching was anywhere competent, because our pitching has been absolutely awful. Scope looks like he's putting up pretty much the same numbers as last year so far. His slugging's up though, OPS plus over league average. That's decent. Ooh, and Duhar has been really, really struggling. Do not like to see that, but I mean, he's 24 at this point, so we're probably just going to have to keep rolling with him. Ledmus Diaz and our shortstop Zhao here that we signed from the international pool. They've both been good. OPS plus, well above league average. Diaz's BABIP is a little high, so he might come back down there. Same with Mancini. Take a look at other guys' BABIP. Yeah, Hayes' BABIP is pretty high, so his numbers are most likely going to fall down, although he is hot right now, so we'll see. I'm kind of curious into what he develops into with how his ratings are with the low plate skills, although he already is worth almost 1 win, so we'll see. Santander, after that monster year he had last year that really impressed us, not really performing that well this year to date. Starting a series against Toronto here, we pick up the first game. Even though we have a bunch of veteran guys, I might look to pick up some starters off the waiver wire. Let's check out our financial situation here real quick. And yeah, we have a bit of money to spend, so I'd definitely be willing to DFA a guy like Hap, or Hap would probably be the only guy that I'd be willing to DFA, just because Cobb, or I might DFA Cashner if it came to it, but since Hap is only on a 1-year deal, he'd be a guy that I'd be the most likely to DFA since he's only under contract for this year. So yeah, we're just gonna keep it going here, finishing up against Toronto, pick up another one. So we won that series against Toronto. Now against Texas, we got a message. Donnie Hart gets suspended for 5 games. Wow. Looks like Duda and Hart were duking it out for fighting. Or as the email says, more of wrestling than fighting. But yeah, that is whatever. I guess we'll have to deal with it, because we can't exactly call up another guy to take his spot on the roster. At least I don't think. We can't do that without sending Hart down. Okay, losing last game against Texas, so it looks like we actually split that one. Had an extra game that I did not see. Minnesota, we pick up the first game. Ooh, looks like Santander, he goes down for about a month. So we're going to have to put him on the 10-day DL. Who do we want to call up? We definitely need an outfielder to call up. Alright, we're gonna go with Cedric Mullins. We'll bring him up. He had a good season last year in AAA, so we put him on the 40-man. Or excuse me, he had a good year in AA last year. This year he's been raking in AAA. Not great outfield ratings, but he has a decent range. He can only play center and right. That looks like Gurriel. Yeah, he's gonna be our backup corner outfielder here. Now that Mullins is up, and that means Hayes is also taking over full time. Looks like, which that's just fine with me. And Duhar looks like he's picking it up here. That's good. Caterini is also playing well. Against Boston here, looks like we drop a game against Boston, drop another game against Boston. Yeah, we lose that series after splitting with the Rangers and winning the series against the Twins. Got an off day right here. Colin Moran could possibly be interesting. Decent defensive ratings. Decent in the outfield as well. Left-handed bat. Better against right-handers. How's Gurriel been doing this year? He's only got 4 at-bats. I definitely like Moran's hitting ratings better than Gurriel. Gurriel, he's a right-handed bat. He's under contract for quite a while. Thus, I'm just going to try to see if we can move him and possibly get anything for him. Just maybe to even get rid of that contract. As he's not going to be more than a utility guy at the major league level. So we're just going to see if we can get anything for him. A few offers. Going to assume that a bunch of these guys make money. I'd probably be willing to take on a guy who's not necessarily under contract for long, but maybe has a higher salary this year. Because of course we're not really trying to contend. Cole Calhoun. He's an interesting guy here. Is LA contending so far? How the Angels are? Oh yeah, the Angels are in last place. Maybe we can get them to retain some money on him, and then maybe we can flip him later. Cause we can eat this money for now. Looks like what else would they want besides Gurriel? Well, I mean, if we're getting Calhoun, we could get rid of Mullins. I really don't like his defensive ratings. Although he has hit really well. And in the minors to this point. Looks like he's in center. He's actually a pretty decent defender. That might just be because of his range. But his zone rating is pretty good. Which is to be expected with his range, but I definitely don't want to give this guy up. Maybe they can retain 30. What does this guy look like? He's a lefty, and I would prefer not to give away a guy who looks like it could possibly be a decent lefty. Can we just give away a... Oh yeah, we can give away a guy like that. We'll give away him. Try to find him again. Oh yeah, we'll... Yeah, this deal. Will I do 35? No. Yeah, we're gonna do this deal. Angels are gonna retain 30% of Cole Calhoun's contract. He's under contract for this year with a team option for next year. He's making $10 million this year. He's having a... Didn't even look what kind of season he's having this year. He's been good this season. He's primarily a right fielder. Looks like he's gotten a tiny bit of experience, but he's a good defensive outfielder with a strong arm. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna do this deal for Calhoun. Probably is gonna take away. Well, it most definitely is going to take away playing time from Hayes in the outfield, but that is fine, as I don't really think he's our long-term answer at outfield anyway. And we're probably just going to be hanging on to Calhoun here for the rest of, probably not even the rest of the season, probably just up until the trade deadline. And we're actually gonna go ahead and send down Mullins for the corresponding move, because I'd rather have an infielder up here in the bigs. Although we definitely don't really have anybody. We'll just call up... Yeah, we'll just call up Escobar. I picked him up as a minor league free agent. I'm not quite sure if I mentioned that earlier or not, but that is what I did. Alex Cobb goes down for a week. Moderate effect, but we're definitely going to send him down, because I want to give some of our minor league guys... Oh, perfect. Hunter Harvey is also hurt. That's fantastic. But we'll give De La Cruz a shot. He's 24, and I really want to see what we have in him. Although this was kind of my plan in the first place, since we have a bunch of guys who are, I don't know if I'd necessarily say major league ready, but they're guys who have decent potential, and they're like 23, 24, like the Hunter Harvey, Alizé, Oscar De La Cruz, those kind of guys. Since we do have 5 veteran guys, I obviously didn't expect all of them to be good or serviceable or stay healthy the whole season. So pretty much my plan to give those guys shots when the veteran guys struggle. Looks like De La Cruz was good in his first start. 2.98 FIP. Yeah, all the starters have been awful still. Gosman and Bundy are performing a little bit better, which I kind of expected them to be some of our better starters. Now it actually looks like nobody is really pitching that well. Hudson's been alright. Araujo's been alright for us so far this year. Givens and Hudson have super low ERAs though, so what do we got? Looks like Bundy wants to help out the community. We'll give a donation. Why not? Alex Cobb is back. De La Cruz only made that one start. Let's see. Cashner has been very not good. And De La Cruz was good in his only start. I think what we'll do is we'll send down De La Cruz for now and call back up Cobb. But if these guys struggle for too much longer, then we're gonna go ahead and make the move and DFA one of our starters, so we can start giving those guys a shot. Although I do want to check Harvey's injury. Whoops. Yeah, Hunter Harvey's out for 3 weeks. So yeah, De La Cruz is really the only guy so far that was looking ready. Alize, how's he going? Looks like he's been decent in AA. That's fine. Collard, I believe he was one of our draft picks last year. He's been pretty alright in AA. Oh, looks like he actually got some time in AAA and he struggled there. Keep it going forward. Ooh, Evaldi has hit waivers. Kind of wish I didn't sim today because I want to see if I can get him. Santander comes off the DL, so we're getting a few guys back here. Caleb Joseph's been awful. Almora has been bad again. Are you kidding me? His slugging is actually decent this year. That's good, but I do not know if we have a spot for Santander without sending down Escobar. Will Caleb Joseph be... Caleb Joseph would probably be okay at third, I suppose, if we needed him to fill in that backup role. And Duhar's picked it up to a slash line that I am more okay with. His BABIP is pretty low though, so hopefully he can bounce back. I think since Santander's been down for like a month, we'll send him on like a mini 3-game rehab assignment. And if anything happens in that time in our outfield, then we'll call him back up. Okay, so now that today is the first player draft, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode right here, and we're going to start off with the first player draft when we get back next episode. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.